So I made it home from Nashville. Last couple of days I've been at the state capitol. Was down there to attend the special sessions. And Monday I went to a rally to end gun violence. It was the rally for Antioch. And we stood there and we listened to children plead with lawmakers to please do something to end gun violence. And we listened to parents who had lost their children. And it was truly a very moving experience. And if I'm being honest with you, it's going to take me a while to wrap my mind around it. And it may take me a while to really gather my thoughts and talk to you more on that one. There is so much going on here in Tennessee right now. It's an absolute whirlwind. It feels like you're in the eye of a hurricane when you're there. There's so much happening at once. But I do have some good people that I'm going to be talking with that you're going to be seeing. And we're going to try to make sense of it all. So stay tuned. There's going to be plenty more content coming on what's going on right here in Tennessee. And I just want to say this. I really think that more people really needs to focus on Tennessee and what's happening here. Because I've been saying for a long time that Tennessee is the blueprint for Project 2025. If you really want to see Project 2025 2.0 and how it's done and see how they go about things, that's how it's happening right here in Tennessee. And I think states around the country and blue states needs to really focus on that, because that's what could be headed your way. And not just people here in the states, but other countries also needs to look there and study that to understand the level of extremism that we're now under. I'm going to have plenty more content coming on that. But while I was there trying to make sense of all of that chaos, then I'm trying to keep up with all the chaos that is happening on the national scene and all the chaos that Donald Trump is creating. And while I was there in the middle of all that, I learned that Donald Trump had froze federal funding. And I began to see for the first time people on social media that I never would have expected to see suddenly saying, what the hell? This isn't what we voted for. Hold on a minute. I thought Trump would never do this to us. And then the whole thing became extremely confusing to the point that when I got home, I began trying to play catch up and see where exactly we were. And it was truly hard to figure out where we were. I'm looking at all the information going, well, wait a minute, what's going on? So I messaged my good friend Brett Marcellus. I'm sure he wouldn't mind me sharing this because this is me making a point. But I messaged him and was like, so what's the latest? What is happening at this very moment? Because I'm very confused. And that's actually the point of this whole video. But Brett said to me, well, it's been a doozy. So the White House released a memo from OMB saying the freeze was rescinded. Everyone celebrated and mocked the White House for backtracking. Caroline Leavitt then doesn't want to take the L, and she says, actually, it's still on. This confuses everyone, including the GOP senators who were tweeting out that the freeze was rescinded. Meanwhile, there was a court hearing today on it. The governor's attorneys were arguing that the lawsuits were now null and void because the order was rescinded. The plaintiffs said, no, not so fast. Caroline Leavitt just tweeted this: the judge needs to act. The judge looked at the tweet and was like, what the fuck? And then the judge ruled against Trump, saying Caroline Leavitt made it all too confusing and unclear that he needed to block the freeze. Now put yourself in my shoes. I'm coming home from the whirlwind that's been happening here in Tennessee. I'm trying to make sense of the chaos that Donald Trump is creating. And that's Brett doing his damnedest to bring me up to speed on everything that's happening. And as I'm reading that, I say to myself, this is the entire point. The entire point is, folks, they want to create as much chaos and as much distraction. Ben Marcellus says they're a weapon of mass distraction, and that's what they are. They want to create as much distraction and as much chaos and muddy the water so much that we'll all just give up. That we'll all just say, you know what, I can't make sense of that. So I'm just going to go on about my day because I can't change anything. A lot of people are going to say, well, my vote ain't going to matter. And there's a whole lot of people here in Tennessee, because it feels so hopeless, that will say, well, what's the point in me voting? It's a red state, and the game is rigged against me. My voice is never going to be heard, so I might as well stay home. Well, I'm here to tell you, if we're going to turn this thing around, there's several things we got to do. Number one, we have to stay focused, and we have to realize that this chaos is being created to distract us. So stay focused, number one. Number two, you're going to have to build stronger communities. You're going to have to come together and work together and lift up your voices and let them be heard. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to start a YouTube channel. Doesn't mean you have to become a content creator, but you can contact your lawmakers. You can reach out. You can start attending more meetings, more committees, more hearings. Let your voices be heard. If you're here in Tennessee, there's a good chance that someone may escort you out because they may rule you out of order. But folks, more of us are going to have to stand up stay focused, and let our voices be heard, and not be distracted by the chaos, because that's exactly what they're wanting to happen. They're wanting everyone to get so distracted that they give up. But I do want to circle back to one thing. I saw people in my part of the world suddenly saying, wait a minute, hold on. This ain't what I voted for. Surely Trump wouldn't do this to us. Yes, Trump will do that to you. Absolutely do that to you. He may be distracting everybody right now. He may be creating a lot of chaos. He wants to do that, get everyone fighting amongst themselves to where we don't pay attention to what he has in mind to do. And that's why we have to stay focused. And to anyone out there who's still hanging in this video and they're on the opposite side of the fence and they normally disagree with Brando, I want to ask you, how did it feel when that sick gut feeling hit you that, wait a minute, my mom might lose her health care? Hold on a minute. My dad needs a surgery. My dad needs an operation. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. My uncle depends on this. My grandmother depends on this. Hold on a second. What's going to happen if I suddenly have to take care of them? Well, what I would say to you is people like me, people like the Midas Touch Network, people in the pro-democracy movement for a long time have been sitting in chairs like this, trying to get the message out there as to what was coming. We sat and talked about Project 2025. We went to the trouble of printing the damn thing off and reading it out loud and highlighting it with highlighters and saying, hey, look, there's a train headed straight for you. Get out from, you're standing in the middle of the tracks, you've got your earphones on, you're distracted, you're not paying attention. There's a train right there. Move, get out of the way. That's what we spent so much time doing. And while we were doing that, there was people mocking us, making fun of us. Brando, you're being hyperbolic. He would never do that, man. I don't think Trump would ever do that. And then the classic, they wouldn't let him do that. There's checks and balances in place. No, there's not. No, they're all bowing the knee to this dude. They're all going out of their way to do whatever this dude says. They're scared to death of him, and they're letting him stiff arm him and push him around. And he's doing exactly what we sat here and warned. So when all of a sudden there's a freeze, and then there's not a freeze, and then there's a freeze again, and then and everybody starts laughing and pointing and making fun of the other one, trying to own the libs. Stop with that shit. Because it's not us that you need to be taking it out on. It's not us that you need to own. We're the ones that's been sitting here trying to tell you every step of the way what was going on. We're the ones that was awake during history class, okay? We were the ones that was listening. I remember back when I was in school, I was the quiet kid, okay? I was the quiet kid that on my break went to the library and read a book. And kids used to make fun of me over that. The same guys that used to make fun of me over that. What you reading for, man? Well, so we wouldn't end up in 2025 with a dictator. That's why I'm reading. I don't get into that history stuff. I don't care about that shit. Is that going to be on the quiz? This is the part that was going to be on the quiz. Okay? That's exactly what this is. This is what's happening. While you're getting distracted with all this chaos. And notice, they're not just doing one thing. It's all happening at once. It's happening in your state. It sure as hell's happening in mine. Everybody, the chaos is being created. Everybody starts getting upset with each other. Everybody starts blaming everything on each other, and everybody gives up hope. That's their plan. That's what they're going for. So do not be distracted. We cannot divide and distract right now. And to those of us on the left side of the aisle that tried to warn people all this time, we sure as hell have to stick together. Anybody out there that's sitting there throwing shade at the pro-democracy movement that once was a part of the pro-democracy movement, shut your mouth. I don't want to hear a word you have to say, okay? Because everything that's happening right now is as serious as it gets, and you got to pay attention. The chaos is created and manufactured on purpose to get us all fighting amongst ourselves. So everybody stay focused. I said all year long, keep your eye on the ball. And now there's so much chaos coming from every direction that it's hard to keep your eye on the ball, and that's all by design. That's every bit by design. So work together, build up communities, stand with each other, be good to each other, be there for each other, take care of yourself and take care of your mental health. Because you may be having to take care of your parents pretty soon. You may be having to take care of your sick uncle or your sick brother pretty soon. You may have to pull the slack when it all falls out from under you. And you're going to realize that people like us were never against you. People like us weren't just over here doing you're just doing that for YouTube clicks. No, I might have got YouTube clicks saying it, but what I was trying to do is use my voice and my platform to get the points across that this is what we were going to be in for. And a lot of people thought it was all fun and games. Well, now they're about to learn that it's not. And I just think that everybody right now more than ever needs to pull together and realize this chaos is manufactured. Don't be distracted by it. Stay focused. And for those of you that haven't read a book, pick one up, please. Now's the time. We'll try to catch you up. We'll try to bring you up to speed on it all. But those of us that sat and read certain books and said, damn, could that happen here? Well, it happened here because a whole lot of people was too busy watching reality shows. They were too busy sitting there watching these ridiculous reality shows that are all scripted, by the way. It's scripted reality. It's manufactured reality. And they sit there and watch this reality show host go, "You're fired." I thought, that's how you run the government, man. Just get a guy like that in there and tell them they're fired. Well, as that reality show host does all those things, that guy that's hell bent on revenge now, every time he yells, "You're fired," that's more slack you're going to have to pick up for your family that's in need. So maybe eventually this WWE style, reality show style rhetoric will wear off and everyone will realize that we were trying to warn y'all along. I appreciate y'all's support here on the channel. I got a lot more content to catch up on. I got a lot more content coming your way. And what we're going to do is we're going to stay focused and we're going to continue to have the tough conversations. We're going to continue to figure out how to message and get our points across. And we need each other now more than ever. So that's my 2 cents. And so, yes, there is a cut right here in the video, and normally I don't edit like this, but when I went back to watch what I recorded, somehow the last end got cut completely off. And so what I was about to say was, I just got a new guitar, and I'm going to get off here, and I'm going to unwind and play it and see how it sounds. And y'all take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. Take care of your family and friends. Be there for one another. Lift each other up and be good to people. And again, I truly appreciate your support here on the channel. We will get through these dark times. I know sometimes it seems hopeless. I know it seems hopeless. But if we stick together, we will get there.